Maybe. You know, I wanted to make a horror movie that didn't have anything supernatural element into it, and which makes it may or maybe not a horror movie. I think for some people it's not, because it doesn't have any vampires or zombies or anything like that in it. So it might bring in more people that way. I didn't really do that on purpose. I just wanted to make something that was very horrific and very based in realism, and that was really my goal with the film. And so coming off something, my previous film, which was like a haunted hotel with these people, like a ghost story, I wanted to do something that was very much based in realism. And I think that, yeah, I think it brings in a few more, you know, because it's a different kind of movie and it plays like a drama at times. I think it brings in maybe a little bit wider of an audience, but it wasn't on purpose. It wasn't like I was like, I'm going to try to bring them in. I think it's a horror movie, but it's, you know, some people think it's a drama, but I think it's certainly the most horrific movie I've ever made, in that I think because this can happen in real life, I think that's much scarier than a ghost or a zombie. The next film that I'm doing is a Western. So it's not quite a horror movie. It's a revenge movie, so there's some violence in it, but it's not really a horror movie. I think I'm going to sort of take a break for a little bit. I've made 7 horror movies in 10 years, which is kind of a lot. So I'm going to try to do this Western and then see where I'm at after that. But it should be fun. It's a very kind of like spaghetti Western, like the ones shot here in Spain. So it's a Clint Eastwood type movie. Well, on The Sacrament, every actor in the film is a friend of mine, including Kate, so we all knew each other. And so I was able to write the movie specifically for the actors, which is great, because then when you show up to do it, it sounds like you thought it would in your head, which makes it a lot easier. And it's very easy to work with people that you know and you've worked with before. So I can't imagine there being a movie where the cast is more easygoing than on The Sacrament, because it was so specifically written for them that we showed up and we were all like, hey, because we see each other in real life all the time. So it made it a lot easier, and it made it good to collaborate, and it made it there was a shorthand between everybody, so it made doing some really horrific things much easier. You know, what was kind of interesting about the movie is that we shot it looks like we shot in some sort of tropical environment, but really we shot in somebody's backyard in Georgia, and we built everything. And so it's funny to think that, you know, we built this entire community and populated it and then made this very dark movie. And then all that just got torn down and thrown away, and now it's just some guy mowing his lawn, and it's a hayfield in the back of somebody's house. But it's weird to think that for about 2 months we created this environment that's Eden Parish, and it exists kind of only in the movie, but it doesn't exist outside of that. And it sounds strange, but you know, I've built sets for movies before, but you build like a bedroom or something like that, and when you tear it down you don't think anything of it. But I've never built an entire community and then put 200 people in it living and working and then just gotten rid of it all. So it's a very kind of surreal experience to have created this, you know, you create this Eden Parish place for the movie, but we also created it in real life, and then it's gone now. And so that was a kind of very interesting thing I didn't expect. Yeah, I'd much rather direct my own scripts. I think I've always done that, and so for me, like writing, directing, and editing are just filmmaking. It's the same job. You come up with an idea and you write it down so other people can understand it, and then I'm the one that sort of stages it and directs it to get across what I'm trying to get across, and then I edit it based on the way that I directed it. So it's all just the means to an end for me. So as long as I can, I'd prefer to do all 3 of those things. Maybe The Shining, I think. It's hard to say, but that's probably my favorite. I like The Shining, Rosemary's Baby, The Exorcist.
Well, I had to do an Australian accent for the film, which was pretty difficult for me. So I watched a lot of Australian movies and sort of studied I have a relatively small part, so I studied the chunk of dialogue sort of phonetically. And then also, as Ty said, some really horrific things happen in the film, so that's always a challenge. But we were working with a close-knit group of friends, so it was a very comfortable environment. I'm in the process of editing a film that I wrote and directed with a friend of mine. A few months ago, so that's the main thing that I'm working on now, and then more acting projects in the future, but I'm not exactly sure what's next. It depends. I mean, there's a great history of strong female characters and also very, very weak female characters, and I hope in the future that we'll continue to see this sort of trend of women being sort of strong leading characters in horror films. Hi, my name is Caitlin Scheel. I acted in The Sacrament. Hello to all the fans of TerrorWeekend.com.
Hi, I'm Ty West, director of The Sacrament. Greetings to the fans of TerrorWeekend.com.